Mixed media explorations blend in paper, fabric and embellishments to create inspired designs by Beryl Taylor. Beryl Taylor shows you how surprisingly easy it is to turn fabric, paper, stitch and embellishment into artistic treasures to keep and share. Using her own art as examples, Beryl gives step-by-step instructions for making projects like greetings cards, wall hangings and books using the latest mixed media products and techniques. So when I saw this and I saw the beading, I was just like, oh my gosh, I need this book. And then this bodice that she's done here, it was just like, oh wow. So it has 5 chapters, and in the chapters it talks about, you know, getting started, the beginnings, materials and tools, and then we go into experimenting, and she's got some beautiful pieces of work and examples of work and ways in which you can use materials in different ways. So it's definitely worthwhile being able to look at the different supplies and materials and see how you can use it or what it is. She then goes into experimenting and looking how you can get different techniques by using different supplies, and then examples of what it would look like if you did. So embedding and sandwiching, examples, embedding beading, embedding different things and creating a layer and then stitching on them. We've got etching into velvet, and the different materials that you may have come across. I haven't come across Xander print. No. Oh, expander print through the pattern onto the chiffon. I'm not sure what that is, but she would have mentioned what it is in the beginning. Let's just test that out. Yeah. This is a thick, creamy medium that can be applied with a brush, roller or sponge. It expands when heated and is non-toxic. It comes in black and white, can be painted on before or after heating. So you're maybe, I don't know, for you, for me, that was a new thing. So maybe I might look out for that. Stitching into metal, foiled brown paper. So there's so many different techniques that if you think about, when you think about what you're doing as an artist, what are you, what techniques are you using and how are you experimenting? She gives you 6 different stitches that you can practice, and it's always useful to have, you know, a range of different stitches and different tips that you can do. And then she'll show you elements and how she uses it. So she'll give you a piece of art that she's got, and then she'll go through each point expressing what she's done, how she created that look. And sometimes we can see a piece of art and you just think, my gosh, I wonder how they created that. But she then breaks it down. She breaks it down for you and shows you how to actually make it. And that was something that was really useful for me, because when I was in the beginning stages of my mixed media journey, it was just like I couldn't work out because I wasn't familiar with the materials used. But now I can look at that and I can say, oh yeah, you know, I see how she's put that together. But it's still nice to see, you know, all the layers, all the different, you know, there's intricate bits that go into making each bit, each piece. And you've probably got all the supplies sitting on your sitting in your supply, wherever you keep them. And then you can take some of the examples and things, that techniques that she's used, and you can, you know, create smaller projects. So it's practicing small projects and using the techniques. Postcards, we've got ACT cards, and it's ACT cards, it's lovely to be able to make a small design on a card and give that as a gift. So this particular is the bodice, and this, I just fell in love with this. There's so much detail, there's so much colour, there's so many different aspects, and you can see her workings out and how she, you know, decided on what colour. It's a beautiful colour. So she's made a corset, she's also done a wall hanging, and there's other examples that you can maybe look at and say, okay, I've learnt that technique, I can maybe try that. And then we've got exercises where you can try out that particular, so this bird wall hanging, she gives you a little template and, you know, stitching. So you will have to have, I wouldn't have said this is for a beginner, I would have said this is like intermediate to advanced. But it's not to say that as a beginner you can't simplify. I mean, as a beginner you could take a piece of material and cut out some hearts and stitch them. So there's things that, like if you take one, these are small squares made up and then put together. So this is a heart quilt. So I think it goes into enough detail for you to then get it. So maybe this is so gorgeous, this book, fabric book, beautiful, accordion style, single page. Again, some of them there are some examples that you can try, and a lot of examples of work that she's done as well. Gorgeous, it's a gorgeous book. And then we've got resources at the back that you can take a look at, and a bit more about the artist. So that is Mixed Media Explorations.